starting in Team 20405, Dragons. And I'm going to show you how to build a basic Mecanum drivetrain using Go Builder and Rev Robotics parts. This video will cover on how to make an ultraplanetary motor, assemble the wheels, and the assembly of the Mecanum drivetrain. This video will not cover on how to make a control system. Hey guys, today we're going to be building a ultraplanetary motor. We'll need a ultraplanetary motor plate. Take out your gear cartridges. For this video I'm using 4:1, 5:1, which is preferred, but you can use what works well for you. Your ultraplanetary hardware pack. Your ultraplanetary motor. Your ultraplanetary 5mm female hex output. And those are the materials that we need. Here's what we're planning to make. The first thing we're going to do is attach the motor plate onto the motor. And then we're going to hand screw our button head screw in.
This may take a while since the screw is quite small.
Once we finish that, we take our Allen key and screw it in. Repeat the same process on the other side. Once we screw in both the screws, we're going to attach our gear cartridges. It should snap in place like so. Do the same with your other gear cartridges. Now take your 5mm female hex output and snap it into place like so. Now take your ultraplanetary screws and put them in the upper holes of the female hex output. And screw them in like so with your Allen key. Now we're going to attach the 90-degree gearbox onto the motor. For this, we'll need our 90-degree gearbox, our mounting plate, and our 5mm hex shaft. Start with putting the 5mm hex shaft inside the female hex output. And then attach your mounting plate such that the holes are aligned. and then snap in your 90-degree gearbox. And now put in your ultraplanetary screws and screw in like so. You may have to align and move around your gearbox so that the screws will fit in. Screw in your screws with your Allen key. Once you finish attaching all the screws in, you are now finished with your motor. Make 3 more. Hey guys, today we're going to be building the final assembly of the Mecanum Drivetrain. This is how the final product of the motor placing should look like. For me, I have 3 holes between each motor, but it varies depending on the size of each C-channel. The first thing we're going to do is wire the motors. Start with attaching your motor wire to the larger port of your motor. And then attach the encoder wire in the smaller port. Once you have done that, slide in the other top of the C-channel and adjust both C-channels to make sure none of the ends are sticking out. Now we're going to put in the 4 screws of each motor. After you've hand screwed them, take out your nut driver and begin screwing them in. Now we're going to build the Mecanum wheels. These are Go Builda gripper Mecanum wheels. They are 104 millimeters. This is a hyper hub. These are M4 screws for the wheels, 10 to 12 mm. These are bearings. These are slim shaft collars, and these are set screws for the shaft collars. This is a 5 mm hex shaft. And this is a 1.5 Allen key. And these are the screwdrivers. First step is to put the set screw inside the shaft collar. I like to tighten the set screw inside the shaft collar so it doesn't fall off before I put it on the hex shaft. Make sure to put it on the end of the hex shaft and then tighten it with your Allen key. First step complete. Step 2. Put the hyper hub on the outside of the wheel. It should click in place. Then align the hole so it should turn out like that, and you can put the screws in easily. Next, get your M4 screws and put it in the hole. You should hand screw it first so it's easier to screw it in. Repeat the process 3 more times. The second step is complete. You should have all 4 M4 screwed in. Next, put the long bore bearing inside to prevent friction. Next, put it in. The third step is complete. I've built 2 Mecanum wheels. As you can see, the orientation of the wheels are different. This one is a right Mecanum wheel because the rollers of the wheels spin right. This is a left Mecanum wheel because the rollers spin left. I have built 2 sets of C channels with motors, mecanum wheels, and the wiring, left and right. I will now explain how to attach the mecanum wheels into the C channel and the orientation. This is the 90-degree gearbox that we built previously. There's a hole where you attach the mecanum wheel of the hex shaft in. Slide it in like so. I'm going to add spacers to prevent friction from the hub and the C channel. Make sure to add enough so that the hub and the C channel aren't in contact with each other. We're going to clamp down the hyper hub using M4 screws. And now screw in with the Allen key. Now do the other side. Take your shaft collar with the set screw inside and put it beside the bearing. Take your Allen key and tighten it. I've assembled the shaft collars with the Allen key. Now I'm going to explain the orientation of the wheels. Notice how the pattern forms an X. What I mean is the rollers are facing the right here. The rollers of this wheel is also facing right. For this one, these rollers are facing left. And this wheel of the rollers is also facing left. But what does this do? This allows the robot to strafe left, strafe right, move forward, and move backwards, and rotate. This is the final assembly for the Mecanum Drivetrain. Here are the parts that we need. This is a 90-degree metal bracket. You could use plastic too. It's used to connect the channels together. This time, we will be using nylock nuts for the screws. And just for screwing in, we'll need a simple nut driver. We'll also need 8 mm hex cap screws. I've cut the C channel to 11.5 inches to length. We're going to put this in the middle, and I've started to make a C channel on the base of the bottom. I will now show you how to connect it. I've used a 90-degree metal bracket to connect this part to this part. And I've used 8 mm screws along with nylock nuts. I'm now going to show how to connect the 90-degree metal brackets 7 more times to this and finish this. I have finished attaching the C channels with the brackets. The next step would be to attach the control system, which would include the control hub, the battery, the rest of the wiring, and if you're using it, the expansion hub. Thank you for watching my video on how to build a basic Mecanum drivetrain.